Hello, hello, hello. I have a very exciting video to make today. Welcome to this channel. This is G and Taylor Nat. I am Nat. If you're new to this channel, welcome. It's lovely to see you. And if you're a returner, it's nice to have you back. Ignore the fact that there's still a bit of sun. But today, me and my partner are going to go and pick up a spinning wheel. So if you didn't know and you don't follow me on Instagram, which by the way, go for it. It gives you some insight into what I'm doing when I'm not vlogging. I have been into drop spindling. So I've got my drop spindle here. That yarn's just for a leader. And I have been making singles. I did make a really chunky yarn originally and applied that together. But I don't like it. We'll not talk about that. I have been making some singles on the drop spindle and I've really been enjoying the process of spinning and how it makes this yarn essentially. Obviously I need to apply these together, but today we are going to go and pick up a spinning wheel from somebody in my local guild, but they're about an hour's drive away, so that's exciting. I'm sure I'll be able to take little clips as I go, or my partner can maybe take some little clips, and I hope that you all enjoy it. Okay, so I am back. That was a long drive. I think I might have mentioned it was meant to be like an hour long each way, but that took I think maybe 2.5 hours to just drive, and then yeah, we left about 12 and it is currently 4:45. So yeah, we're only just back. I have my new wheel here and it seems to be absolutely fine. Showed me how to work it. I think the biggest issue I'm going to have is trying to get the yarn into the right position. So here we've got the bobbin, we've got the wheel, etc. The issue I've got is I don't have a way to get the lead or yarn in here. Yes, so it was a bit of trial and error when she was showing me, but yeah, all seems good about it. So yeah, the woman was lovely. She was very helpful. She showed us what to do. I was given some other bits and bobs. This was a very fair priced spinning wheel, and with the spinning wheel I have also been given this, which isn't based on the wheel I've got. I think she said the wheel she's got is at least 20 years old probably, but she was like, this will still be able to help you, it'll give you the basics. It came with a niddy noddy, so I've got a way of winding it up so I don't need to wind up the way I was before. I've got some carders if I decide that I want to work with some raw fleece. And finally she gave me a little bit of leftover wool. So at least the brown is Corriedale, but I'm not entirely sure because this is dyed at least. But it'll be good to learn and good to spin from. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. Maybe next we can try and do a spin. I don't know if that'll be together today or tomorrow. Yeah, we'll try and spin some.
consistent single so that when I apply it, I finish off with a really consistent yarn as much as I can. So I'm going to be
for the next day, and I think you'll probably have seen I have had some time to use the wheel. Honestly, it's going better today than it went yesterday. Yesterday was quite frustrating, in honesty. There was bits where I just didn't understand what I was doing. I couldn't treadle at the same time as drafting. Yeah, it took a lot from me, but I'll also be honest and say 2.5 hours of driving, not including like the extra time we were out for, it took its toll on me yesterday. I spent a good while not even being able to like knit, and that's when you can tell I'm tired. I think I'm going to just keep practicing for a wee bit, and then I might try and make a bobbin's worth of yarn. Yeah, it's not as consistent as these, but you also have to remember that this is having had more practice on the drop spindle. It will come with the spinning wheel. I am finding that I'm breaking the yarn less, which is brilliant, because with the spindle I felt like I was ending up with all of these ends, but we're doing a bit better. My drafting's not consistent, so my yarn is very inconsistent at the moment, so I'm gonna give it some time before I even think about making anything with the yarn. I wonder if I could ply these singles that I have already, just so I've got them more than anything else. I'm not sure how it would go, but it could be interesting. I have my makeshift lazy cake because that's one of the things I didn't get. As I say, I got carders, a niddy noddy, or at least a mini niddy noddy, and some wool, as well as a guide for the Ashford wheel, which helped. It has helped, and hopefully in time it will all help a lot, but it's what it is. It's gonna take some time, and we'll get there eventually. I think I'll maybe come back in a couple's day time when I've had more use. So yeah, I will catch you later.
Russian spindle or a wand spindle, it does take a little bit to get it spinning. We're at 2.4 pounds, which was 39.
Hello, I'm gonna apologise first for how I'm looking. I had no intention today of filming. I was just gonna take today as a very chill day. It's been quite busy. Next week it's gonna be quite busy. But I thought I owed you guys an update before continuing on. You might have seen in one of the last clips about me plying up my singles from my drop spindle. So I did that as a 3-ply, and then I have since had some more practice. I have spun up 2 singles on the bobbin and then plied them together. So this is about 50 grams worth of yarn. Yeah, 50 grams was pushing it. I'm not sure how many yards I've got yet because I still need to put it into hang. I know the singles from the 3-ply drop spindle one I made is about, I think it was like 80 meters, maybe less than that. In fact, it might have been like 50 meters, and that was 3 lots of 25 grams, I think. So that's probably like 75 grams. Yeah, that is currently out. I washed it, and so I'm letting it dry naturally in the air. I will do the same with this one. It's feeling quite lofty. You can tell that they're not all the same size. This is sitting, some bits are sitting in Aran weight. I think that's maybe one of the heavier bits. And then other bits are sitting in sport weight. So yeah, just wanted to update you, let you know what's going on. I have actually went and purchased some more wool. I've gotten some sample, you could order samples on World of Wool. So I think I got about 13 samples, something like that. It only came to like £4. And then I got a couple of 200 gram tops, just to give myself some more variation, in honesty, and a chance to try out some other yarns that I've not done. So far I've only used Shetland, and when I did the drop-in session, a little bit of merino. So it would be nice to see what things work up as, what I prefer, and maybe if this video does well, I can take you guys along for the ride and see what's what. Yeah, so I will catch you once this has been washed, or once it's been hanged, washed, and dried. So probably tomorrow. So I'll see you later. I completely didn't even think, I've got bits of my hair that are coming out. I completely didn't even think in that clip there to tell you how the experience is going with it. This, I think I said already, it's not very consistent, but it has gone better than drop spindling. I think it's going to take some time for me to fully get used to it. The first day or two, I was having trouble drafting at the same time as treadling, which I know will come with practice, and I am getting better than I was. Overall, it's going fine. I think there's definitely points where I'm treadling a bit too slowly, and then I have to like push the wheel to keep it going, because it has a tendency, if it sort of reaches near the top, that if you're struggling to treadle, it might then just spin backwards. So yeah, it's all a learning curve. I am enjoying it more than drop spindling. I seem to be doing this mainly in the evenings. Today's a bit of an exception. That's kind of my experience. I didn't actually state much of how I felt about the yarn, how I felt about spinning on the wheel. And I'll be honest and say that the spinning of the wheel took a long time to get to grips with. When I was at the person that I bought it from's house, I felt like a natural. Like, I felt like I knew what I was doing, like it all made sense. And then I'm not gonna lie, I got home and then was like, how do I do this? Like I couldn't seem to treadle and draft at the same time, and then I was getting issues. Yeah, it was a pain. So I have just hanked up my bobbin. This is what it looks like. It looks very thick. It is, I think I mentioned this is a 2-ply. The other one I did, which was a drop spindle and implied on my wheel, was a 3-ply. I used my yarn Swift, which I saw somebody else use. I do have a knitty noddy that did come with this, but actually when I saw somebody using a yarn Swift, I was like, oh my goodness, that seems like a brilliant idea. And I will say I think it's a lot quicker. Before it has been washed, it is looking a very, I want to say almost beady. You can tell that they're not all the same. And I am really starting to get a bit of a collection of yarn that's been spun up that I don't know what to do with because they're not the same gauge. But yeah, as of now, I am going to go and, I want to call it blocking. I'm going to go and set the twist by washing my completely spun by the wheel wool. And I'll speak to you probably tomorrow. So that is something I would check out, but overall it is a very... Okay, hello, so this is the last clip I'm going to do. I just kind of want to give you a rundown. So to begin with, I didn't expect this video to be as long as it is. I thought maybe it was going to be like 2 days max. It has now been nearly a week. In that time, I've done quite a lot. So let me show you some of the things that I've been up to. So this is the first that I plied up. So these were using singles I had that I made on the drop spindle. So they're a bit thinner than what up until that point I had been able to spin on the wheel, because I'm still getting used to it, and still getting used to the fibre. And I think it's maybe a DK weight. So this is quite consistent, I would say, in what it is. It is maybe sitting at a DK or maybe even a worsted. Yeah, so this one's probably coming at a DK and worsted weight. I want to say there was like 50 odd meters of this. This is quite uniform though, so I do want to use this for something. Maybe I could do like a hat, or maybe I can wait till I've got some more. I did use 3-ply, so I had 3 different singles, sorry, and I spun them all together, or plied them all together to make this, and I feel it has given a nice rounded yarn. I am very much happy with how this looks. It feels a lot more well suited for the type of knitting I do. So this is what it looks like. I don't think I showed it close enough to the camera. Yeah, so this is what it looks like. It's a dark brown colour. All of this is dark brown, mainly because I'm using what I have on my Shetland wool. Yeah, I would say it was a pain. I don't have a lazy cape, so trying to ply things up has not been easy for me. I've actually found that the easiest way to do it is not to have them on, I don't know if I showed you the box, so I made holes in a cardboard box and then used my paintbrushes as sort of like holders, and then put the loo rolls or my makeshift bobbins in there. And it's a hassle. I need to try and figure out another system. I'm not really wanting to buy a lazy kit at this point. I feel it'll be beneficial in the long run, but right now I'm just looking for something that is going to be nice and easy to do it with. It's not going to be too much hassle, but we'll get there. Time will tell. So that's enough for this yarn. Yeah, that was the first thing I plied, but it's spun using my drop spindle. Then we have my first singles that I then plied up. I had a big issue with this, and that when I secured it together with the two ends, it actually could have done with a third like bit of yarn. So when I washed this after plying it, it became a big tangled mess, and then I had to go and use my Niddy Noddy to untangle it once it had dried. This is not anything I think I can use. For example, look at these. It was two plied. I wonder if that's maybe part of the issue. I know when you three ply it's a lot more consistent looking, even if it's not, because they kinda can help even everything out. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. This is similar to, I think I showed it in my podcast. I had made a 2-ply yarn on my drop spindle, and it was this thick material, and it's this sort of thick yarn. I don't think I can use this because I don't knit with that thick yarn. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this. It was good practice, but that is all that this will probably be. I have then spun up a couple of other singles. Are these both of them? They don't look the same size, but I'm sure they are both 25 grams. Yes, they are both 25 grams. I spun these up last night. So these are two singles I've done. I have now separated all of the Shetland wool I have left. As I say, in my e-box, I have now split everything into 50-gram bags. So I have numbered these, and I am going to continue numbering these for all of the ones that I make, and then I'm going to work backwards, or like work outwards inwards. So I'm going to ply up my first yarn that I spun up with, or like my first single with my last single, second single with the second last single, all the way in, because I've been told that that can give a more consistent look. There's part of me that's considering 3-plying this, but I'm going to wait and see how much yarn I've got in total. That means my skeins are going to be like 75 grams each, which is a bit of a weird number. But we'll see how it goes. That's the plan. I'll either 2-ply it, work inwards, or I will 3-ply it, but I think I'll still figure a way to do it so it's like the first skein with the last skein, if that makes sense. On top of all of that, I also got to spin up this. I don't know what braid this is. So this was part of what was given to me with the wheel. She gave me some fluff, and that was lovely of her, and she didn't have to do that, but I suppose if she's not using the wheel, like, she doesn't need it. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do with this, because I think there's maybe like 5-10 grams of this. There is not, there wasn't a lot. And as I say, I don't know what it was. It certainly had a smaller staple length than the Shetland wool. But actually it spun up pretty thin, pretty easily. I wasn't having to like worry too much. And it was a lovely spin, and I'm really surprised at how it worked out. I really hope I showed you what it looked like at the start of the video. I didn't think I would be interested in 2-coloured yarn, but this could be pretty cool. Maybe it's like an accent colour and some like colour work. It could have been Corridale, this yarn, because it came in a box that said, or it came in a bag with a brown fluff, which was called Corridale Brown. But I don't think so. I might never know what this was, but it has kind of sparked an interest in me looking at different like dyed wools. Other than that, I don't have much else to say. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I don't know if it's a long video or a short video. Like, there are lots of clips I found of me on the wheel, and I know for a fact I'm going to cut that down severely. So hopefully this video wasn't too long for you. I hope that you've enjoyed coming along on this journey with me, seeing what I have been up to. I would love to hear what project you are working on down below, so feel free to tell me. If you're a spinner, please, 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 correct anything that I'm doing wrong if my techniques are wrong. If you have enjoyed watching this video, please give it a like, and think about subscribing if you're not subscribed already. Let me know as well below if it would be interesting for you guys if I made another spinning video, because honestly it's been quite fun for me spinning, so yeah, let me know. And I hope you all have an amazing day, month, week, all of that, and I will catch you in the next video. See you later.